Whether it's a difficult relationship, someone who brings negativity, or an attachment you need to loosen, emotional detachment can help you regain control and find inner peace. Emotional detachment doesn't mean withdrawing or isolating yourself. It's about setting boundaries, finding balance, and letting go of things beyond your control. This concept has been explored for centuries, especially in Stoic philosophy. As Stoics like Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, and Seneca taught, living a fulfilled life requires learning to manage our emotions and reactions. Today, I'll guide you through 10 techniques to help you live more freely and emotionally detach, blending ancient Stoic wisdom with modern psychology. Let's begin. Technique 1. Recognize and accept the need to detach. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength, wrote Marcus Aurelius. We can't control others' words or actions, nor how they treat us. What we can control is the influence we grant them and the mental space they occupy. The first step toward emotional detachment is realizing you're not powerless over another person's emotions, demeanor, or behavior. Reflect on how this individual has impacted your life. Does their energy drain you, or do they uplift you? Is your connection a source of calm, or does it leave you overwhelmed, angry, or anxious? Objectively evaluate their impact without guilt or judgment. Accepting the need for emotional detachment is the first step toward achieving it. Many of us naturally care deeply for others, but sometimes this blinds us to when a relationship is hurting us. Excusing their actions or hoping things will improve can prevent us from acknowledging the truth. If this relationship consistently disrupts your peace, refusing to see it isn't beneficial. It's important to understand that emotional detachment isn't about rejecting or harming the other person. It's about prioritizing your emotional well-being. We suffer more in imagination than in reality, Seneca reminded us. Holding on can often be harder than letting go. Prioritizing your mental and emotional health isn't selfish. It's a sign of self-respect. Telling yourself, I deserve relationships that lift me up, not weigh me down, establishes a boundary. This recognition is like planting a seed. It will grow into a healthier, more balanced mindset. Sit with this idea. Acknowledge the need to detach and remember that putting your peace first is an act of self-truth. Technique 2. Limit your contact with them. What matters is not what happens to you, but how you react to it, remarked Epictetus. While we may not always avoid certain people, we can control the frequency and depth of our interactions. By limiting contact, you create space to process your emotions independently. Start by setting reasonable limits, perhaps speaking only at specific times or in neutral settings. If interactions are online, consider turning off notifications to control when communication occurs. Limiting contact is one of the simplest ways to start detaching. Frequent communication keeps someone in your thoughts, making it hard to carve out the space needed to heal and rediscover yourself. Emotional detachment requires mental and physical distance. This doesn't mean completely removing them from your life, but intentionally reducing interactions to prioritize your tranquility. Setting boundaries is an act of self-care, not punishment. If feelings of guilt arise, remind yourself that choosing calm over chaos benefits your well-being. As Epictetus emphasized, your reactions are within your control. Reinforce these boundaries, as needed, explaining kindly if asked, I'm taking time to recharge. Remember, the goal isn't exclusion but inclusion of yourself. By spending less time on the relationship, you make room to focus on your growth. Gradually, this weakens their hold on you, fostering calmness, self-confidence, and control. Technique 3. Focus on your own goals. It is not the man who has too little but the man who craves more that is poor, Seneca wisely noted. We often focus too much on others, seeking their recognition, love, or approval. However, that desire diminishes when you channel your energy into personal growth and achievement. Shifting your focus creates a life that satisfies you internally, rather than relying on external validation. Establishing and working toward personal goals gives you agency over your happiness. Reconnecting with your aspirations is a significant part of detachment. When overly attached to someone, we risk losing sight of our own dreams. True freedom comes from realizing we don't need others to fulfill our sense of purpose. Consider your passions. What excites you? Perhaps there's a dream you've neglected. Reignite your passion and invest in what truly matters to you. Building a meaningful life reduces the need for approval from others. These goals don't have to be monumental. Even small steps like picking up a new hobby or improving fitness remind you of your worth and potential. Focusing on your growth diminishes the other person's influence. As you work toward your ambitions, a sense of stability, confidence, and competence emerges. The mental space they once occupied shrinks, bringing clarity and balance. Engaging with others from a place of choice, not necessity, becomes liberating. Write down your goals, take small steps daily, and build a life authentic to your values. Technique 4. Set emotional boundaries. Epictetus understood the importance of emotional boundaries. We can't control the world, but we can manage our reactions. Though we can't dictate others' actions, we control how we respond to them. Setting emotional boundaries protects your mental health by preventing you from being swept up in others' drama or negativity. Begin by identifying your limits. When do you feel depleted or disrupted? Establishing boundaries isn't about being unfeeling. It's about preserving your energy to approach relationships from a place of strength. For example, if someone frequently burdens you with negativity, set a boundary. I'm here for positive conversations only. Understand that others' problems aren't your responsibility. Empathy doesn't mean absorbing their emotions. Recognize that their behavior reflects their experience, not yours. Politely declining involvement in their issues is another aspect of boundaries. Speak up if necessary. Clear communication reinforces your limits. Setting emotional boundaries helps you interact without being carried away by others' feelings. You safeguard your emotional space and handle relationships with clarity, dignity, and distance. Technique 5. Practice self-care religiously. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts, Marcus Aurelius wrote. When fixated on someone else, your mental state is influenced externally. To detach, shift your focus inward through self-care. Self-care isn't just indulgence, it's committing to enhancing your mental, physical, and emotional well-being. When emotionally attached, your needs may be neglected. Prioritize self-care to reclaim your energy and focus. Identify activities that bring you joy, tranquility, and fulfillment. Reading, walking, journaling, or meditation can reconnect you with yourself. Physical health is equally vital. Exercise, sleep, and nutrition fortify your resilience. Neglecting these areas becomes easy when emotionally invested in someone, especially in toxic relationships. Taking care of your body strengthens your emotional foundation. Regular exercise releases endorphins, improving mood and combating negativity. Practicing self-care allows you to step back, prioritize your needs, and begin detaching without guilt. You'll regain emotional autonomy and no longer rely on others for validation. Make self-care non-negotiable. Nourish yourself physically and emotionally to reclaim inner calm. Technique 6. Focus on your support network. To understand and to be understood is one of the most beautiful qualities of true friendship, Seneca stated. Surround yourself with relationships that make you feel seen, heard, and valued. A strong support network celebrates your successes, comforts you in hardship, and reminds you of your worth. During emotional detachment, lean on those who genuinely care, family, friends, or community groups. Detaching can feel lonely, so having supportive people around is crucial. They provide perspective, encouragement, and grounding. Sharing meals, walks, or deep conversations strengthens these bonds. As you heal, these connections reinforce your sense of belonging and accelerate recovery. Being surrounded by supportive, encouraging individuals boosts your self-esteem and lays the groundwork for emotional resilience. Their presence makes it easier to let go of unhealthy ties. Draw strength from these relationships as you move forward with detachment, knowing you're supported. Technique 7. Reframe your thinking. You have control over your thoughts, not the world around you, Marcus Aurelius wisely said. Emotional detachment begins with mastering your mind. Constantly thinking about someone else gives them power over your mental stability. To reclaim control, reframe your thinking. When you catch yourself dwelling on them, consciously shift your focus. Redirect your attention to positive aspects of your life, gratitude, achievements, or simple joys. Reframing isn't denial, it's choosing where to direct your energy. For instance, instead of ruminating on their behavior, focus on what brings you serenity or appreciation. With practice, this weakens their emotional hold on you. Each time you refocus, you strengthen your mastery over your emotions. Detachment becomes easier as you break patterns of overthinking. Reframing empowers you to reclaim emotional autonomy, clarity, and peace. Technique 8. Remind yourself of who you are without them. Know first who you are, and then adorn yourself. Accordingly, Epictetus advised, emotional freedom starts with self-awareness. When you know your values, passions, and goals, you approach relationships from strength, not insecurity. Detachment involves reclaiming your individuality. Reflect on your core values. What matters most to you? Ground yourself in these beliefs, instead of seeking affirmation from others. Over-attachment risks losing touch with your true self. Rediscover your passions, the activities that ignite joy and energy within you. Reconnecting with these interests reinforces your identity and independence. Remember your strengths, accomplishments, and resilience. You're defined by your choices and inner strength, not the people in your life. Focusing on your purpose shifts attention away from others, reminding you that your life holds value even without them. Standing in your power fosters confidence and clarity, enabling healthier boundaries and emotional independence. Technique 9. Don't internalize their behavior. If you really want to escape the things that harass you, what you need is not to be in a different place, but to be a different person, Seneca said. Their actions reflect them, not you. Internalizing negativity damages your self-worth. When someone behaves poorly, recognize it stems from their thoughts, beliefs, or struggles, not your value. Step back and see the bigger picture. Their behavior isn't about you. It's about them. Refusing to internalize their actions protects your inner calm. Remember the Stoic dichotomy of control. You can't control others, but you control your reactions. Shift your perspective to maintain emotional distance. Not taking things personally lessens their sway over you. Return to calmness and clarity by focusing on what truly matters, your well-being. You aren't defined by their actions. They're a product of their circumstances, not an assessment of you. Stay confident and composed as you detach. Technique 10. Release resentment and forgive. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury, Marcus Aurelius wrote. Forgiveness liberates you from the shackles of anger and resentment. Emotional detachment requires releasing grudges and negative emotions tied to the past. Holding on to resentment drags you down, sapping energy and increasing stress. Forgiveness doesn't condone their actions. It's choosing to let go for your peace of mind. Start by acknowledging your feelings. Write them down if helpful. Then, consciously release them. Forgiveness is a gift to yourself, creating space for better relationships and experiences. Letting go of past burdens allows you to move forward with clarity and confidence. By forgiving, you define yourself not by others' actions, but by your resilience, serenity, and capacity for growth. Remember, forgiveness is for you, not them. It sets you free to live fully.